Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing today? I was live earlier, but due to some technical issues, I had to go off and come right back in. I can see you guys are joining me. If you can see me clearly, you can hear me audibly. Please drop a comment in the live chat. Let me know you are there. You can see me clearly. You can hear me audibly. Super excited to be back with you guys again after the Career Acceleration Summit. I can see a lot of us coming in and I'm excited. You know why? What we're going to be talking about today is a must hear for you. And it's a very good way to start your week. You know, looking at the fallout of the Career Acceleration Summit, last weekend to be precise, not this weekend, the last weekend. One of the things we committed to doing was basically writing our career acceleration plan. However, beyond planning, there are mind blocks that can be in your way when it comes to actually implementing your career plans. Either as an entrepreneur or as a professional, there are certain things that can stop you in your tracks towards acceleration. And black tax is one of them. So before we continue, make sure you're sharing the live. You know, let's get as much people in the live before we continue. Make sure you're sharing the live. Share, 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 share. Share the live. Let's get as much people into the live. Let's get as much people into the live. Let's do that very quickly. If you're with me, you're here, you can see me, you can hear me, because this is something that a lot of us need to hear about. It's something that happens to all of us. It's a communal issue. If you live in this part of the world, if you live in Africa, or you live in Nigeria, or you live in majorly the black parts of the world, you know, there are a lot of challenges that stop us mentally from accelerating. So you have a plan, yeah? You come out of school, or you're a middle-level person, and you have a plan of what you want to do with yourself. You have an idea of your desires. You have taken a personality test, so technically, you understand yourself a bit more. You get it. You are in full clarity. You are in full clarity of what you need to do to accelerate yourself. However, you find yourself not doing so because of various factors. And some of you would know and will perceive that those factors are real, they are original, they have reasons. So today we're exploring the rather very delicate issue of black tax. As a psychologist, as a consultant, as a coach, black tax always comes staring me in the face when I'm working with a client who particularly is not maximizing their potentials. So you see people come in, they have what it takes to be excellent entrepreneurs. They have what it takes to be excellent career professionals. They even have a path that they desire to pursue. They're passionate about it. They are visionary about it. They understand their genius and they are hoping to begin to master it at a higher level. However, there are restricting factors that determine whether or not they are able to maximize some of these potentials. And a huge one is black tax. You might ask me, Coach Folake, what is black tax? Black tax is a financial burden that is placed on individuals, particularly people who are Blacks, from Africa, from the Caribbeans, and many other migrant backgrounds. And this tax is not legislated. It is culturally imposed. This tax begs on you as an individual to send huge portions of your income to support your immediate family, to support your siblings, to support your grandparents, your relatives, your cousins. And this tax is so legitimate that even when you leave the country, you leave your resident country, you go somewhere else, the taxation becomes even more. So you're working your life out. You really don't have a choice of what career path you can take, because black tax has now become a huge part of our cultural existence as blacks. You find out that most parents, when I was growing up, most parents made sure that their children read certain professions. Most parents made sure that their children took a certain path that will be financially beneficial to them as parents and their relatives and the siblings of whoever is being made to take those journeys. So you find somebody who is, by personality profile, by skills, by giftings, by everything in terms of talent, should be in a certain career path, going into another career path just to make ends meet and pay black tax. If you sit down and you look at your life at this point, and you were to decide what you would love to do if there was nobody dependent on you, I can assure that a larger percentage of you watching me right now would pick something else to do beyond what you're doing. As young graduates, you see people graduate and they go online looking for jobs. Yeah. So any advert they see, I've seen people come into interviews and we're like, what did you apply for? You say, any job that is available, I'm willing to do. You see people, middle level people that should be building a career, hopping from one career trajectory to another, all in the bid to pay black tax, to make sure that their family is fed, to make sure that in fact, if it was just your immediate family, it would have been easier. So I was having this conversation with someone recently who is even an entrepreneur. And I was saying to myself that if there's one person who is so adverse to the ideology of black tax and how detrimental it is to acceleration in life, it is me. You know why? I've seen too many people with huge potentials. And I'll give you a practical example. So I had a young lady come work with me a few years back. And she had so much potential. She's quite intelligent. She was the epitome of someone who will do well in management consulting. She had the skills, she had the demora, she had the courage, she had the brain for it, she had the attention to details. She was growing in a career path. But guess what? Her parents were on her neck to get married because she's a first daughter. And because she's a first daughter, there are certain entitlements that must come from her as a first daughter. So black tax takes various forms. It's not just in financial demands. Sometimes even the choice of when you get married can either be pushed forward because of black tax or pushed backward. So you're ready to marry. We see it in some tribes. You're ready to align yourself with a life partner that would help you articulate your future, chase your dreams. And you are being told by your family, you have 3 younger siblings, you can't get married until those younger siblings are through with their educational career. They're through with going to school, because once you get married, you're not going to be able to pay their school fees. Yes, black tax. You have a particular career path. You are married, another example. And you begin to find yourself drawn to a certain career path. If you're following me and you're connecting to what I'm saying, please share the live. Type in the chat room so I know you are here and I'm making sense. You're connecting to some of the mindsets that Black Tax has given and has contributed to in our acceleration as individuals. Now, for you to build a career path, either as an entrepreneur or as a professional, you need to consistently stay on a particular path or paths, as the case may be. Because some of us are multi-talented, some of us are multi-skilled, and we can actually have our giftings interlap in the things that we're doing. Now, to stay on that path, you need to consistently put yourself in that position to follow your dreams, follow that giftings, allow it to thrive. It takes a bit of time, either whether you're building an enterprise or you are building a career. It takes a bit of time for you to master your genius, for you to get clarity as to how to multiply, yes, the impact and the influence of your genius. But you can't do that when there's black tax waiting for you. Thank you, Skill Up Teens Academy. I see you. You can't do that when black tax is waiting for you. You have family members, you have children to feed. You have a partner who requires you to bring a certain level of contribution to the table. That is why I laugh a lot when people say things like, purpose does not pay bills. That's a lie. I wanted to shout, but I don't want to shout. I want it to sink in. The ideology that purpose does not pay bills is a lie. If you can hear me and you are connecting to what I'm saying, hear me now. Let your mind align to the lie, the myth that purpose does not pay bills. It is a myth. It is a lie. Your purpose can pay bills. I am an example of someone who refused to allow black tax stop me from chasing my purpose. And I'll share my personal story with you. I'll tell you my career acceleration story. Never shared it before. Never shared it before. But I'm going to share it with you guys today because I need you to break some mind blocks. Those mind blocks held me bound for a very long time. In fact, I was trickling into my 40s before I found the assurance to say no to black tax pressure or the sabotage of black tax. Dr. Ideyi says it's sinking. I think we should do a full-blown seminar on black tax issues. Thank you. As Africans, as Caribbeans, as black people, as people who are oriented to family, it is a huge pressure on which risks and calculated decisions you can make around your acceleration. So people say, find what pays your bills and make it your passion. Passion is what it is. Purpose is what it is. Paying your bills does not mean you are in alignment with purpose. Purpose is a burning desire to achieve in a particular direction of life that makes you feel, makes you not just feel, makes you exist beyond your livelihood to impacting lives. Yes. So I said I was going to share my story with you, and I'm willing to share it, but this is a good time for you to share this link. Share it, share it, share it. Somebody needs to hear this. Because the reason why they are not taking that course, why they're choosing not to go pay for that advancement, why they are not picking that job that seems like a downgrade, yet it is an alignment with purpose, is because of black tax. So what you have is that you're going around in circles. So I started my career journey even before, even before I left NYSC. I'd started working. In my final months of NYSC, I got a job. I had actually, got that job before I went for NYSC. But because I hadn't served, I didn't get the opportunity to resume work. I was the best, shortlisted candidate for that role. However, when it now came to documentation, I had to be honest that I hadn't served. And they picked the second best for that role in Lagos. So, fast forward to while I was serving, I was having a conversation with someone who knew my would-be boss at that point in time. I was serving in local. And, I've said it a lot. And I'll keep saying it. That your networks would determine your net worth. If you don't know the right people who will sponsor you in situations that you can be elevated beyond having a mentor, you are going to struggle. Somebody needs to take you to the corridors of power, point at you and say, that girl, she has what it takes. Give her an opportunity. So if you're not networking with purpose and you're just chasing your mentors around, mentor me, mentor me, mentor me, mentor me, you're not providing value enough for your mentors to become your sponsors, you are going to struggle in career acceleration. So I was speaking to this person, and she said, oh, do you know that your would-be boss, that person that was meant to be your boss, is starting a new office in Abuja? I was serving in local. I said, interesting. And I'm sure they're going to need you. Are you almost done with your service? And I said, I'm almost done. I have a few months, but I'm sure I can always work around it and find a way to get myself to Abuja. And she says, call this person. So I called him and he said, how are you? How are you doing? Have you started your service? I said, yes, I'm almost done. He said, wow, where are you? I said, I'm in Lokoja. Of course, I knew where he was going because I was so valuable at the point of, being recruited for that role in Lagos. He was still interested in working with me. So he said, oh, we're starting our Abuja office. Would you like to be part of our team in Abuja? And I said, why not? I've shared it everywhere, even when I was making my opening speech at the Career Acceleration Summit. My career has been tentatively plus work before service. I've had a career that spanned 20 years. And in those 20 years, I have never been out of a job, never. Not for one day. Never. And the only reason for that is the grace of God. And secondly, me co-creating with God when it comes to the area of value. I was valuable. So I said, yes, I would like to work with you. And I hopped along and jumped on the train to work with this law firm in the city of Abuja, Matrix Solicitors. You can Google it. I started my journey in Matrix Solicitors, worked with them for 2 years. I don't think I'd even hit 2 years. I think it was about 18 months. And in that 18 months, I had moved from front desk to practice administrator. And practice administrator had moved between the ranks to practice administrator, which was the highest administrative role in that particular branch of the law firm. And I looked at myself and I knew I was capping. There was nothing more left for me in that environment. I'd seen intern lawyers come in and move to junior advocates. They were just moving. They were moving. They had a career path. I didn't as a paralegal. The best I could be was what I was. And I told myself I needed to move. So my boss offered me a salary increase, tripled my salary. And I said no, because I wasn't going to be bigger than what I was. I'm not a lawyer. And if I didn't look around me, I would have taken that triple salary. Mind you, I was a mom. Yeah, I already had my first son. I think I'd even had I had my first son. I had my second son after I'd left Matrix Solicitors. So I was a mom. I was a mom who was just starting my life. And that triple salary would have done a lot. I am telling you, at that point in time, it was a lot of money to leave on the table. But thank God that I was partnering with the right person who understood what I wanted to do with my life. And I had an understanding. Thank God for reading psychology. I had an understanding of where I wanted my career to go. So I told my husband, I was offered a triple salary upgrade, but I'm not going to take it. Because when I submitted my letter, I'd already gotten another job. Guess what? Where I was going to, I was going to earn not 3 times, but twice what I was getting. An average person in my position would have stayed at Matrix. Yeah. Because the money was more and it would help me pay my bills, send something home to my family, be a big girl in the city of Abuja at that point in time, and live a comfortable life to some extent. But I was aware that I was going somewhere. So what did I do? I still resigned and took off to a higher role. I got, I think I became an administrative manager in a sales site company at that point in time. It was higher because there was a career progression path on that job. I stayed on that job for about, I think, 2.5 years. And before I left that, I got another job as a general manager. So you don't hop without a direction. Yeah. You don't jump because you got a pay raise alone. Yeah. You don't change jobs or transition companies because you got a pay raise, sorry. You got a pay raise. No, it's more than that. It has to align to where you are going. If you can hear me, type in the chat room, Coach Fola, I hear you. I understand you. Because it's very difficult for us to focus on the grind so much and be so scared of paying bills, especially where we are right now. If you live in Nigeria, the economy, so even if you live in the diaspora, you see people with great potentials go into the diaspora and they go chase crappy jobs. Yeah. They go into crappy jobs. They get stuck on jobs that are low for their potentiality. I have a friend who went for her master's. She was part of the speakers at the Career Acceleration Summit. And she said to me, I am not going to do a care job. There's nothing wrong with a care job. But she just said, babes, I'm not going to do a care job. Whatever it takes me to find the kind of intellectual work that I deserve at this level of life, I will wait. Guess what? She's a top level executive in less than 2 years in the UK. She didn't work. She chose not to work. It was a lot. Some of you will say, oh, she had a good support system. Who said you can't get a support system even if you're living out of this country? Because guess what? When you get stuck in some of those crappy, in quotes, crappy jobs that have nothing to do with where you are going, purpose alignment, Nothing to do with what you desire to bring to your world. What is your legacy outcome? If you get stuck in it, you can be stuck in it for years. And stagnant water stinks. So you're there, you're paying the bills, but you're not fulfilled. I have 40-year-olds walk into my office and they're comfortable. They've made money, but they're not fulfilled because purpose alignment is missing. Purpose pays bills. Trust me. So I started building my career, worked as a GM before I started Cat Sync concept way back then. And it evolved into Cat Sync Consult. Never been out of a job. I knew at that point when I started Cat Sync concept that I had a genius in me that needed to be gifted to my world. I told myself, if someone else could use my brain to ensure the productivity of the organization, I could use it to ensure that I helped other people and other systems, structures, and organizations. Not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur, but for some of you who are professionals, make calculated moves based on where you are going. Don't get lost in the grind. Say it to yourself. Because purpose will give you what you want in terms of financial stability over time if you consistently stay with one thing. Fast forward to about 2018, I remember an incident as I start to round up around this back. Someone walked up to me and looked at me and said, "This customer service thingy," because then CatSync was majorly about customer service training. We hadn't evolved into the massive organization we are right. And she said, "This customer service thing you are doing, I don't think you are called to it. I hear in my spirit that God wants you to do something better. You need to look for it. Because when you finally find it, you can change this crappy car that you're driving." Said it to my face. I remember weeping very bitterly that day. I wish I could share this life with that person. Let them see my journey to becoming. This particular topic today is a huge one for me because I've been in that situation. I've been a mom that needed to support her children and support her partner. My husband has also been in that situation. I and my partner are both consultants. If you know, you know. If you and your partner are both entrepreneurs, it means that when you don't work, you don't get paid. Yeah. And I remember when I was working and my husband was struggling in full-time grind because he's not wired that way. He's wired to chase his dreams a certain way. And he said, "Babe, I think I'm dying. I can't do this 9 to 5. It's driving me crazy." I saw his potentials and I knew what he could do. I looked him in the face. Mind you, we were not comfortable. In fact, at that point in time, I think we were owing rent. Yes, we were not. I'm talking about 10 years ago. We were not. I looked at him and said, "Babe, resign. We'll be fine. I got you. I know what you can do, and I'm going to support you to chase your dreams." Now, no sane person would say that when there are bills to pay. However, it takes a sanity of your mind to embrace your true potentials that exist even in the midst of adversity. If you don't place a banker on yourself, who do you think will place a banker on you? I don't get it. If you don't take calculated risks to accelerate your own journey, who do you think is going to come get you? No one is coming. I have come to announce to you that no one is coming to get you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to take those risks for you. No one is going to help you. If you do not put your value out there, your sponsors cannot find. And he quit his job and started his own organization. In fact, we were both in CatSync concepts. until I took off and registered my limited liability as CatSync Consult. And I can tell you that that was the best decision we both made. We didn't allow the pressures of what to eat, what to drink, what to wear bring us to a point where we lose focus of where we're going. What's your focus? How do you accelerate in a direction where you don't even know where you're going? Where are you going? Do you know where you're going? Are you self-aware to know your skills, your giftings, your talents? Do you want to harness it to be a blessing to your world? Do you want to push it out there? Do you have a desire to chase your journey to becoming? Because it's a journey, it's not a sprint. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Fast forward to after that person spoke to me, 2020, in the midst of COVID, by the way, my best year ever. I started the future of work trainings and my career took another turn. I began to explore. I began to try new things. CatSync began to diversify into management consulting. And here we are today. Hosted one of the largest summits in Nigeria for upskilling and career acceleration a few weeks ago, free of charge. All glory to God. But there was a lot of hard work done to stay on that path, to not get distracted, to not lose focus. So I want to ask you, even though black tax is not a unique experience, a lot of people are struggling with black tax. How are you breaking your stereotypes that are holding you back, that are causing you to self-sabotage when it comes to your career acceleration in the light of black tax? It's okay to take care of your family. It's okay to take care of your younger ones. However, take yourself. Because the more valuable you are, the more you're able to pay this tax without not looking back. Because you are financially free enough to empower the people around you. But if you choose to get stuck in the craziness of black tax, you will drown. You will drown. Trust me, there's always going to be someone around you that has a cry for help. Yeah. There's always going to be a family emergency that requires your contribution. There's always going to be. There's always going to be a sacrifice that needs to be made. The point where you need to pick that cost and pay for it. There's always going to be a reason to not take your master's or go for your PhD because there are bills to be paid. There's always going to be a reason. There's always going to be a reason not to chase your dreams. But what are you doing to break the bondage and the mental slavery of black tax? I hope this video helps you. And I honestly hope you share it with someone around you. Write your career acceleration goals. Push yourself out there and make sure that you win, because winning looks amazing on you. Till I come into your faces sometime later in the week or next week, take care of you and take heed to some of these things that we've spoken here today. Share this video, like, subscribe, comment on the video. It'll be nice to read your comments. Give me feedback on what you want me to talk about. Whatever your struggles are around your acceleration, drop it in the comment section. Drop, what do you think about black tax? Are you struggling with black? Is it holding you back subconsciously that you don't know? And let us see how we can work together to get you on the right path. If you would like to join our community, the Career Acceleration community, reach out, send a message, we'll send you the link where we share up-to-date information on how to break the boundaries around your acceleration. My name is Folake Agumbiadi, aka the Customer Seductress. I love you. Keep winning and have a beautiful, beautiful week. Take care of you. Bye.